Hi, Matthew Appleby from HortWeek, and I'm here with River Cottage head gardener Adam Frost. So welcome, Adam.
Hiya.
Garden is looking absolutely beautiful. So what's the inspiration behind this garden here at Hampton Court today?
So it's kind of taking the best elements of our kitchen garden HQ, really trying to show the public what they can do in a relatively small space, getting a lot of produce and a mix of veg, fruit, flowers, herbs, all into one space. And it being a really beautiful but also productive veg garden.
So why is it important not to just have veg and fruit? Why is it important to have all these other things?
I don't think we have to be linear with just either veg all in straight lines in a traditional sense, just in a garden. I think there's such, you can see all the different kind of colours we've got here today. They can be such beautiful plants, and you can use them in an ornamental sense as well. But it's also really important for us being completely organic and organic at HQ as well, that we use a number of different techniques like companion planting and bringing in pollinators with all the beautiful flowers and predatory insects that are going to predate on the pests, things like that.
So if there's anything in particular that you'd point out veg-wise that you're growing here that's sort of unusual or people should be growing more of?
I think we grow up to say 300 to 400 different varieties at HQ, so there's a huge amount of different varieties out there, and I think it's worth people to really start growing their own from seed, just because of the amount of varieties. So whereas you just tend to get, say, a butternut squash at the supermarket, actually if you look in a seed catalogue, there's kind of absolutely loads of different squashes, all different shapes, colours, and some of these things far tastier than anything you're ever going to get in a supermarket. So I say just to people, just give it a go, just try a number of these different varieties, and I'm sure you'll be really pleased with the results.
Now, in inflationary times, possibly recession coming up,
yes,
people are talking about how there might be a bit of a grow your own boom. There often is in a recession. Do you foresee that?
Oh, I think I've already started seeing it because we do courses down at HQ. So I teach a Get Growing course, and I've really noticed since the pandemic really that people are really starting to take note of growing their own and want to be as self-sufficient as they can. I think, for a number of reasons, to save money, but also to have that, to be able to know where their food's coming from as well. And also I think people have started realising that the supply chains are they're weaker than they thought they were, so having that peace of mind of growing your own is really important to people nowadays.
Now, you've got a bit of a dream job in gardening terms, working with Hugh Fern Wet Stall, doing TV, doing things like this. What's your background? How did you get into it?
Sure. So I've always kind of been around organic gardening. Both my parents were garden designers, gardeners. My granddad grew their own organic veg. So I've always been, from a young age, pottering around the garden, tasting things. And then after I went to university, and after that I actually got into landscape gardening for a number of years, did some self-employed gardening, and then I actually started, I travelled around Europe and working on different organic farms, and that's really where my love of veg was heightened, and studied permaculture, organic farming, permaculture. Came back to the UK, landed in Devon, and got the assistant gardening job at HQ down at River Cottage, and then worked my way up from there. So I've been there about 6.5 years now, something like that.
Great. Have you got any advice for people who want to get into it?
I think just go for it. Just there's so much kind of you can learn nowadays through YouTube and things like that just have a go. Even if you've got a small space, just go for it. I think there's no right or wrong. People always come for the right answers, but I think sometimes you get the best results from making mistakes and just playing around. So happy accidents, I say.
No, that's cool. Now, a few years ago, Hugh had a scheme called Landshare,
yes,
which was sharing out people's garden for people who didn't have gardens to grow in. Do you see more of that happening now?
I think so. I think, especially, I think there's going to be a change from mainstream agriculture through all these, the subsidies are starting to slow down and stop with farmers, so they're going to look for alternative ways of using their land. So I really think that, we are going to see more of that, and as we should, definitely, more small scale growing.
Cool. And where can people see you on TV? Are you filming much at the moment?
So we've got a new series which is out at the moment. So it's a 4-part River Cottage series again. So it's the first River Cottage series for a number of years. So it's really exciting. We've been filming that for the last few months. So yeah, you'll be able to see that on More 4 Monday nights.
Brilliant. I'll look out for that. Well, thanks a lot,
Excellent.
Adam Crofts.
Yeah, nice to meet you.